Jonathan.
Thank you so much. I was enjoying an interview you did a couple of days ago where someone introduced you as a Israeli-American philosopher. I don't know who remember that. And you said, no, either you said you're an objectivist or a student of objectivism. And I thought that was really classy, and I enjoyed that. And I guess my only comment was, and I wanted to say, Rand talked about that, or student of objectivism, and how much work there's been done that people don't know about. It seems like everyone has an opinion about Rand or seems to know what she would say. And very few of them have even read Atlas, let alone, and even you talked about how now and then you will regularly pick up an old work of hers just to get like kind of a little nugget of something. So I just encourage people to do that. I mean, so much of what you've done with your book, In Pursuit of Wealth, like these are fairly short, easily accessible, really nuggets. And then two others, like books of Rand's, like, Philosophy Who Needs It, or like the Ayn Rand Letter. This is stuff that people know. Yeah, there was great work that was done in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and a lot of, the Objectivist newsletter Matt is holding up. Like, there was so much great work that's not expensive to get that people should go back and check out from that era.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I said on a show once, just pick up a Rand essay once a week and just read an essay a week. It'll really help your thinking. It'll help your sense of life. It'll help your attitude. I mean, she was you'll look at the world differently. It'll help reshape, in a sense, your psychoepistemology. I mean, it really is amazing how phenomenal she was, and the insight she has, and it'll help you be a better thinker and better. So, Jonathan, everybody on the chat is in this suspense about when those columns of books behind you are going to fall down. I mean, the Leaning Tower of Pisa there. What is happening over back there? Is that,
well, if we can, let's say if we can raise $500, I will topple them all on your podcast.
Topple them all
right now. Yes, but we want to raise $500 new dollars.
For $500, Jonathan is going to go like that, and
I will topple them all. We'll just leave it at that. But we want to see.
I might topple down anyway, right? If we
got to keep watching to find out. You got to keep watching to find out.
Moving to the right, anyway. But $500 will get you an exclusive, a one of a kind. Jonathan, trying to get, yeah. All right. Thanks, Jonathan. And yes, read Ayn Rand. Read Ayn Rand and be inspired. Her nonfiction essays, there's so many of them that almost nobody reads, which is the Ayn Rand Letter, for example. There's a lot of stuff there that was never published elsewhere. And there's some gems there that are not available. I'm waiting for my copies to arrive from California. They missed the boat. Talk about, there's such a shortage of containers right now and trucks and stuff like that they missed the boat to Puerto Rico. So it's going to take them another few weeks to get here.
And to begin with, I wonder if I can ask you to capsulize. I know this is difficult. Can I ask you to capsulize your philosophy? What is Randism?
First of all, I do not call it Randism, and I don't like that name. I call it Objectivism.
All right.
Meaning a philosophy based on objective reality. Now let me explain it as briefly as I can. First, my philosophy is based on the concept that reality exists as an objective absolute, that man's mind, reason, is his means of perceiving it, and that man needs a rational morality. I am primarily the creator of a new code of morality which has so far been believed impossible, namely a morality not based on faith.
On faith?
Not on faith, not on arbitrary whim, not on emotion, not on arbitrary edict, mystical or social, but on reason, a morality which can be proved by means of logic, which can be demonstrated to be true and necessary.
All right, all right.
Now, may I define what my morality is?
All right.
Because this is merely an introduction. My morality is based on man's life as a standard of value. And since man's mind is his basic means of survival, I hold that if man wants to live on Earth and to live as a human being, he has to hold reason as an absolute, by which I mean that he has to hold reason as his only guide to action, and that he must live by the independent judgment of his own mind, that his highest moral purpose is the achievement of his own happiness, and that he must not force other people, nor accept their right to force him, that each man must live as an end in himself and follow his own rational self-interest.
May I?
All right, before we go on, reminder, please like the show. We've got 163 live listeners right now, 30 likes. That should be at least 100. I figure at least 100 of you actually like the show. Maybe there are like 60 of the Matthews out there who hate it, but at least the people who are liking it, you know, I want to see a thumbs up. There you go. Start liking it. I want to see that go to 100. All it takes is a click of a thing, whether you're looking at this. And you know, the likes matter. It's not an issue of my ego. It's an issue of the algorithm. The more you like something, the more the algorithm likes it. So, you know, and if you don't like the show, give it a thumbs down. Let's see your actual views being reflected in the likes. But if you like it, don't just sit there. Help get the show promoted. Of course, you should also share, and you can support the show at JeronBrooksShow.com/support, or on Patreon or Subscribestar or Locals, and show your support for the work, for the value hopefully you're receiving from this. And of course, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, even if you just come here to troll, or even if you're here like Matthew to defend Marx, then you should subscribe, because that way you'll know when to show up. You'll know what shows are on, when they're on. You'll get notified, right? So, yes, like, share, subscribe, support. Like, share, subscribe, support. There you go. Easy. Do one or all of those, please.